from Orini, which is additional 1.5 for NC State. And then the major decision with an additional point to go along with your advancement points. And we've seen really Penn State on the national script really write the successful formula with how valuable bonus points can be when it comes championship time of the year.
Absolutely right. And doing the math, there are ways where a person can have bonus points and consolations and bonus points and not win and score more points than someone that did win the tournament.
We're back to action. 165. It is Matty Singleton, the freshman. We were talking about the great state of Georgia. He is a Georgian, Moreland, Georgia, part of Woodward Academy. And we weren't sure a couple of weeks ago if we would see Singleton compete in the postseason. Pat Popolizio told us they were going to have a conversation following the North Carolina duel. It looks like they have made the decision with the way that Singleton has been wrestling to let him fly here in March.
And he said that it was going to be Matty Singleton's decision. And clearly Matty made a decision he thought that was not just in his best interest, but also in the best interest of the team.
Singleton's had a really good year, even though he lost to Holden Heller 5-2. He had a 7-match winning streak snapped in that loss to Heller, who earned the top seed. Matty Singleton, a guy who started this year at 174. Took some lumps up at that weight. They put him on a pretty strict diet plan, and then he focused on getting down to 165. He made his debut at the Journeyman Collegiate Classic down in the Big Easy in New Orleans, and he looked really comfortable at the new weight. Wrestled very well, and it has been pretty much Singleton ever since New Orleans.
And Coach Popolizio said that Matty Singleton never really lost or cut weight, as we say in wrestling, while he was in high school. So new experience for him, but obviously it looks like it's going very well.
And Rock, that's a good point. Keep in mind, he won state at 182 in Georgia, 4-time state champion, and now here he is in college at 165.
Wrestling is a lot of fun when you don't have to lose weight.
Gabe Dinette from Duke, redshirt senior, Golden, Colorado. That should be familiar. The state of Colorado has treated Duke very well through the years, mainly because of the Fine Silver family.
One thing you see from Matty Singleton is that he's a taller 165-pounder, and he doesn't really have penetration shots. He kind of just lower levels and snatches. You don't see him doing a traditional step in, drive your feet. He just reaches and snaps, and he's very difficult to take down. And that's doing a good job of circling and banging on the head, hang on the head. These things don't make a difference maybe in the first period, but throughout the match you can wear on your shoulders and your neck.
Pat Popolizio, calm right now, but what a year it was. They suffered the loss to Virginia Tech. They thought maybe they were out of it for the regular season title, but then Pitt stuns Virginia Tech. The Wolfpack were able to follow up with a win against the Panthers, and when the dust settled, 3 teams at 4-1 atop the ACC dual portion of the schedule, and that is what makes today so enticing for the fans across the country. Dinette starting underneath, carries the action out of bounds, back into the center we go. Good look at Matty Singleton.
Matty Singleton went to a double thigh pride when he went right inside and pushed forward. When you're a longer wrestler, that's very advantageous. The coaching staff liked that little return, mat return. It wasn't a true mat return when he lifted up in the air. They liked the fact that he went to a double thigh pride and then laced the ankle. It seems like that's something that they had worked on because it was a good clapping from the NC State coaching staff. It's always good when you see your wrestlers executing, obviously, what was taught during the practice room.
You know, as we have watched Duke on our mat today, one area the Blue Devils have really struggled at is getting out from underneath. We have watched them just not be able to get to any type of offense because all of their energy is just trying to find a way, a crevice to get out from underneath a punishing ride.
Tight waist tilt. So you're absolutely right there. And I cannot express it enough where the fans at home and even Sean and I, it's so much tougher than what it looks like. But bottom line is that bottom and escaping is a mentality. It is a mentality. It's a will. You're not going to you're not going to keep me down. But it is tough, especially when you have someone that is as crafty as this freshman is in Matty Singleton.
See what Dinette does here. This is a pivotal 30 seconds for Gabe Dinette, I think. If he can find a way to get the point late in this second period. Singleton continuing to ride.
You saw that little sneaky. He lifted the ankle to get the left leg in. He used his right leg, lifted the ankle. Once that ankle was up, he put his left leg in and got a very strong second period ride.
This crowd in Raleigh, they know they're wrestling and they appreciate a good ride like they saw from Singleton. So they are going to voice their pleasure with what they have seen so far from the freshman. Great scene this morning outside the arena, though, wasn't it? You had the breakfast tailgaters, fans just lined up waiting to get in.
That's the benefit of being in a warm weather state. It's March and it's like 67 degrees outside, and they were grilling and having food for breakfast. It was a nice atmosphere for NC State.
I know we both have made the case. Let's bring the NCAAs to Raleigh here in the near future. I think this city would love it. Quick point for Singleton, so a 1-0 lead. Minute 51 of riding time for Matty Singleton here in this first round match. 3 versus 6. Jarrett Trombley, here at 165, top seed in this particular weight, belonging to Holden Heller.
Nice.
As Singleton gets back to more offense.
Nice, lifted it up and then dropped down to a double. That's what you want. So here's drop up, trick from the outside to a double. This is what you want. Just get the first win, freshman. Get the first win. First time ever being at the ACC Championships. Dinette's doing a good job of fighting that fingers. He's got to get his hips away. He gets an escape.
This is a wide open weight on paper at 165 for this conference. 3 NCAA qualifiers. Heller, the top seed. Justin McCoy, the 2 seed. Singleton at 3, and then you have Connor Brady, the 4 seed. Low strike there. Dinette reaching a little bit. Countered beautifully by Singleton. And Matty Singleton, for good measure, adds 2 more.
That was a good reshot. Shot by Dinette, defended, and then you know what? When Singleton defended, he didn't stand up. He defended it, stayed low, and when Dinette stepped up, he went into his shot. People call it reshots, re-attack. It's re-something. Oh, good shot by Dinette there. I just got stuck, though. I like the fact you're still trying at the end. And that does it. 7-win add-on a riding time. Makes it an 8-2 decision for Matty Singleton over Gabe Dinette. And early rounds, NC State is doing a good job